Friday at Farmhouse Fabrics. We're gabbing and gushing about everything that's been going on in the last, I don't know, what are we at, 36 hours since we saw y'all?
Yeah, we have a lot. And probably not everything that's going on, but we have a lot going on.
So
I didn't mean anything by that, by the way.
I don't even know what you would even be referring to, so we're good.
There we go.
So one thing is the weekly sew. Sally has taken on a weekly sewing challenge, and we're at week 20 something because I've totally forgotten at this point. And the cutest little iris eye mask from Vintage Little Lady, and it's made in our new romantic rosebuds, and it's sweet, sweet, sweet. So we'll be talking all about this in a little bit.
It's a free pattern too.
I just threw that because my nose started
did you
really
say
bad.
That?
It is a free PDF download from Vintage Little Lady.
Cute. Yep.
Sally is going to be discussing, y'all just look at this because this just looks interesting. She's going to be talking about lace edgings. And so she's got all different kinds of styles and selections that we carry here at Farmhouse on display. And she's going to dive into all of those things. We have a new check size from Fabric Finders.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
I mean, this is really a big deal because not every day do you get we carry Fabric Finders, 100% cotton, every color, style, whatever of their gingham checks. And they actually have come out with a new size for us. And of course, we hop right on that. So,
and as they add colors to that, it's the 1/2 inch size. That's the size right here. And we have even bigger. We have the 1 inch size, but love having this 1/2 inch size because it's such a good in between the 1/8 inch and the 1 inch. I mean, or is that 1/4 inch?
We have a quarter inch.
Quarter inch. Yeah. Anyway, it's beautiful, and we have several colors. But we have every size in the aqua. So.
We have Sally also sewed this week a sheen sateen. It's a raglan style vintage pattern, and it made up beautifully in one of our sheen sateen florals.
This little guy right here.
I love this pattern.
Yeah,
we're really gearing up over here for our summer photo shoot, which actually we take a late vacation in September. And we will be doing our photo shoot for any upcoming ads that we have for summer of 2023.
Can't believe we're talking about 2023.
That's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
So kind of right now where we're landing is in a caftan, possibly this raglan dress. Like it's sending us definitely in like a cover up kind of way.
I think Kristen showed a vintage Vogue pattern, and then you showed it on our story maybe this last week, didn't you? Do you remember?
No.
I saw it. I belong to a Facebook group called
the Vogue. Yes, I'm back.
Yeah, the Vogue pattern.
Yes.
Vintage sewing pattern nerds or something like that. It's a great group to belong to, and they're mostly sewing up ladies garments, but it's very fun. And so that's where I saw that vintage Vogue pattern.
Our girls are living our Sally's granddaughters. She has 8, 9, 10, 11, I don't know. She has a lot of granddaughters that she sews for our photo shoots. Mm-hmm. And our oldest girls are living in those adult size patterns.
They are. It gives you a lot of options, though.
The Vogue, mm-hmm. I'm getting excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I keep waiting for every time. I've ordered the pattern from somebody on Etsy, and every time the mail comes, I'm like, maybe today, because I'm anxious to make it. So I feel like once I make that, everything else is going to kind of fall into place.
Definitely.
Do we have that other vintage pattern out here? Maybe not. But we have another vintage pattern that it's cute because it's really kind of like a trapeze, and then bell-shaped sleeves. And I could see the girls.
Very, very 70s.
Yeah, we're kind of in the 70s with all of our decorations and our giveaway.
Shamelessly, I'll tell you, because we are loving all the stuff that we're dreaming up.
I know. So some of you might hate it, but we're having fun with it.
We're living in there. Yeah. Okay, so for our check sizes, we have what we call micro check, and it what's the word? Graduated sizes up to 1 inch. Mm-hmm. So micro check is 1/32 of an inch. Then we also have a 1/16 inch, 1/8, 1/4, 1/2, and 1 inch. And these are great for for everybody. I mean, you can make from a man to a newborn baby in any of these check sizes. And they're 100% cotton from Fabric Finders, and they're 60 inches wide. So we have a huge wall. I mean, we have hundreds of different colors and styles and sizes.
I think the most typical size that we've carried for years and years and years has been the 1/16 inch. And so it's been fun to change it up, because there are a lot of tiered dresses out now, and we have a little pattern that we can show. That in fact, Abby Wilkinson
last summer
made her whole family garments out of the blue and white check, and she
mixed
has
them all in.
She has a tiered dress for herself, and so how can they find her? Abby D. Wilkinson.
That's right. And Dress Them Dearly blog.
Yeah.
So with our 1/16 inch, we've mostly used this size range for our custom made trims. And we have from covered buttons to a 1.5 inch ruffle with a picot edge. We have all different kinds of varying trims that we've had custom made right here in the USA. To coordinate with the colors from Fabric Finders. But just like every other thing that you can reorder from us, the dye lot changes
yeah, that's true.
with every single new batch from the manufacturer. So they vary a little, but really depending on where and how you're using them on the garment.
The ginghams have not been so bad, but they do change. But the prints sometimes are really off, I guess, because they have so many colors in them. But the ginghams haven't been
the ginghams are more forgiving because they have that white mixed in.
I think that's true.
So it kind of takes your eye away from it not being the exact color match.
And I want to mention, because we're going to be talking about Gail Doan, GailDoan.com. We're going to be talking about her in the next few weeks because of a new class she has. And I'm excited because she's sending us dresses to show on Gavin Gush. I'm not even supposed to say that. I'm
just waiting to see where she's going with all this.
I'm not going to tell anymore, but it's exciting.
I feel like this is like a note to anyone at GailDoan.com. We're not good secret keepers
we are
over
not
here.
Good secret keepers, but anyway, be watching her website. Actually,
sign up for her
newsletter, yes. And then you can get the secret before anybody, almost. But anyway, one thing I wanted to say when we're talking about ginghams and the 1/32 inch, Gail uses the tiny microcheck for a piping a lot of times with Liberty of London, because they have a off-white background that if you use a larger gingham, the white really shows up. But when you put a microcheck there with it, it blends really beautifully. So we try and keep as many microchecks as we can find. I know a lot of companies have, even Fabric Finders, they don't have as many as they used to carry, but we love them, and really for the reason that I'm saying, because they go great with Liberty.
Yeah, it definitely lends itself more to that ivory family.
Mm-hmm.
You can use them with white, but also because the check is so small, the white part is so small, but it coordinates well with Liberties. Isn't it cute? I love these.
I mean, I was excited when they came out with the 1 inch, but just this week we got in the 1/2 inch.
I might be more excited about the half inch.
Yeah.
I really love that.
But look how great they look.
Yeah. I feel like that needs to be our song, our repeated song here.
So Deborah on Instagram said she loved the color of that stack. So I'm not sure if you said that's seafoam.
Thank you. Yes, seafoam. This is seafoam.
Yep.
All right.
That's pretty.
So what else? Let's talk, because we love our sewing kits here. It's really like the inspiration of this digital image that Michelle has been working up for us here recently. A picture's worth 1,000 words, and it's so nice to be able to see what the design is for all these fabrics and buttons and notions that we're having live together. So to create this digital design, let me show y'all in the overhead. If you're on,
I'm going to pull out the smocking plate.
Okay.
Yeah, and that way they can.
So to show y'all this digital design, we actually had to pleat up this front piece right here so that we can make it really actually look accurate. But I have to show it to y'all because it is absolutely beautiful work done by Ariel. And we have one of these available. So in order to create this digital design, we needed to smock up this gingham for Michelle to work with. So if you see the way this gingham is pleated, it's so pretty.
Carefully, kid. They've got the sticker over the top of this. But
Just rip it open.
okay,
Let's do it.
Okay, because this was so cute when she came up with.
We've been oohing and
upstairs. We have an
awing.
upstairs and a downstairs, right? She's the downstairs help.
The dungeon. We're down here in the dungeon.
We're down in the dungeon right now. But she came up and showed us this.
Y'all, I love Ariel because she comes up and she's like, all right, I'm done. Everybody's like,
wow,
look how beautiful.
This is gorgeous.
So I'm going to draw the overhead.
Okay.
So we have one. This is the only one we have available. Maybe if y'all complain enough, we'll pleat up some more, have Ariel pleat up some more.
Oh, I can do
So we've been dreaming up this digital design, and this is so fall to me with this gingham look and maybe a denim jacket and some cowboy boots.
That'd be cute. I can see our girls in that. This is a Pat Garrettson smocking plate called Sunflowers, appropriately enough.
It's super cute.
It's very, very cute. Very cute on this quarter-inch gingham.
Yep.
Yep.
I love it. So we also, in our sewing kits world, we like to say that it's all the parts and pieces to create the desired look. So we have also been using the Miranda pattern, and that's the Primrose Lane Miranda. It's sizes 2 to 8. And we've been talking so much about tiered dresses that we loved when we came across this in our pattern drawer, that this is a tiered dress option for you. It also has this little smocked inset piece on the bodice, but we have it made up out of seersucker, and you can see we've gone again with that color blocking idea.
Well, and you don't have to put smocking in that bib part. You can use that as a plain part and put an embroidery in. But we were thinking, how cute would that pattern be? The Miranda by Primrose Lane, for to use the different size ginghams. Wouldn't that be cute?
I would definitely.
You could do all the same color but different sizes, or you could change your colors up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think all the same color and different sizes with a little white eyelet in between the rows would be
just like
so
Abby
cute.
Wilkinson's dress.
Yeah, like that, because I like that.
Yeah, really.
I wonder where I got that idea.
I know, right?
Right?
I think I'm dreaming it in different
sizes.
sizes.
That's right.
You just let them know about that kit that it's not pre-pleated. The kit.
Right. It is not pre-pleated.
Yes. So this is made on the Ellen McCarn yoke dress. What is this?
Made from it.
This
called the
kit.
yoke dress.
Yes.
Yeah, the kit.
So the ultimate yoke dress is the name of the pattern. So what we have here, all the parts and pieces for you to create this yourself. The only pre-pleated piece that we have available is actually this insert, and these kits are not pre-pleated.
And actually, this pattern does not require a pleated insert. You just pleat the top of the skirt.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, this is just a piece of gingham for you to design it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what about your iris eye mask?
Well, that was a pretty fun little thing. And so this is Vintage Little Lady, the Iris Eye Mask. And when we got in our romantic rosebud fabric, and I thought, now this would be a fun little project to make. And so I made it out of the rosebud fabric with a ruffle, and I backed it in just a polyester satin that we have in pink. And so it calls for interfacing the lining and the front piece, which I did. And then I thought, I wonder if it could use a little bit more something soft and cushy. So I pulled out our fusible fleece, and this is what it looks like. It's got a glue on the one side, and see that?
Mm-hmm.
And so this is what I did. I fused it to the back of one layer of the romantic roses. I had already interfaced it, but it's not necessary because just now I put it on the back of a plain piece of fabric, and this is lightweight fabric. So this works so great. I mean, I actually read the instructions. I cut this piece out, and the glue side is facing the back of my rosebud fabric. And then on the ironing board, I pressed it from the top. So this actually acts like a pressing cloth.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you could use a pressing cloth too if you wanted, but I didn't do it and it worked great. So you just press like 10 seconds.
It really gives you that feel of like what you would expect from an eye mask.
Would be comfy, right? Don't you think it'd be comfortable?
Really cute. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I got all done and I have it here and I looked down and I said, oh, I've got a thread. And I come down here with these great giant scissors because guess what? I didn't have my little snips that Evie Hawkins, a bit of Stitch, said she keeps her snips everywhere, which I'm going to start doing. And
I can't wait to see all the necklaces Sally owns
I'm gonna
by the end of this endeavor.
That's right. So I reached down here and I clipped my thread, and wouldn't you know, I cut a little tiny V right out of one of these. Oh, you idiot! Look at this. Look at that. I mean, you can hardly see it, but I'm going to have to get out my fray block and put it on there, and then this is going to go to my granddaughter.
So Sally has made this nightgown. What we have here is a line of fabrics called Legacy Fabrics. And our Legacy Fabrics are exclusive to Farmhouse Fabrics. And currently we have 4 different styles available. Our plaid, which is made from this green and pink color combination. And I'm glad I didn't move.
I know.
And we call it our preppy plaid because it just has this sporty kind of look.
Mm-hmm.
We have a gorgeous lavender batiste that coordinates perfectly to a lavender ribbon that we carry. And then we also have our latest sheen sateen that lives inside of our Legacy fabric line. So this exclusive fabric, it does work beautifully for this style nightgown and then also for the eye mask. But we have gotten a sneak peek from Gloria Powers that Gloria Powers, man, what is, I think there's a letter at the end of her. You can find her on Instagram. And it's beautiful in a little girl's dress.
The back of it that's the one with the back with a beautiful top.
I don't know what we can talk about.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
it's gorgeous.
She doesn't have it showing anywhere.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
So
oh, my goodness.
From nightgowns, ladies' nightgowns,
it makes me want to sew it. When I saw that picture, it's like, I want to make that.
Right. It's beautiful.
I can see that on our little girls.
Cute. You? Yeah. Lots of personality in that dress. So,
I love this fabric.
We're excited to carry this beautiful
and
rosebud.
we had this hanger special made.
It matches it.
Not
agrees. The fabric is absolutely darling.
oh.
Thank you. Let's show sisters to sew for. Don't make one of these. I'm at least must make 2 because
maybe
where they're going, there will be a fight.
Maybe I need to take
you need to sew this
and sew this up.
Yeah. Cute little. It's a free PDF pattern. It's the Iris from Vintage Little Lady Patterns. I mean, we checked out with it and downloaded it and made it right up. So it was awesome. Super cute.
And doesn't take much fabric,
which is always nice.
Yeah. Doesn't take much. In fact, out of the same little strip all the way across, you can get your 2 eye masks.
Oh yeah.
Because that's where I had these little pieces of things left over.
So in our line of Legacy Fabrics, we have our sheen sateen. So this sheen sateen is really fabulous. And that's why we have made up all the trims using the fabric. We're going to be talking about it a lot because it can be used for everything.
Well, the neat thing about this is it's not a heavy fabric. It's not, but it's opaque. I mean, really, you can't see through, right? Barely. Can you see through? Anyway, I love this. I saw I don't know. It was on some Facebook group. A lady made herself a blouse and she did it in white and it was gorgeous. And I thought this would make whatever that blouse pattern was. I need to find out what that blouse pattern is. It's crisp.
It's a really
clean,
light
beautiful
sheen finish. So it's not a shining, gawky kind of look.
It's got a soft.
It's perfect for christening gowns. It's perfect for newborn babies, but it would be gorgeous in a lady's blouse or a men's shirt, a man's shirt.
First communion.
Yes.
A girl's blouse, like our classic blouse. By
A Wink and a Nod.
A Wink and a Nod. A Wink and a Nod classic blouse would be wonderful.
It'd be great for hand embroidery or machine embroidery. I mean, it's just a great weight.
So we had it joining its family.
When we love it, we make a
Yeah,
custom trim.
That's right.
And so we could not pass this fabric up without making custom trims for it.
So we have an 1.5 inch bias that's sold by the yard. We have a piping out of the fabric.
Sometimes you make your own piping, and sometimes it's just easier to make a pre-made or to purchase a pre-made. So you're gonna love this, and you definitely will love these trims that go along with it.
So back to the rose fabric.
Okay.
Sally Reichenberg asked if it's soft enough for a crib sheet.
It is soft enough for a crib sheet.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this would be a cute baby bedding.
Donna Coleman said you should do a photo shoot with all the girls having a pillow fight with the nightgowns on.
Wouldn't that be cute?
That's a cute idea.
I love that idea.
That's a cute idea.
Oh my goodness.
We had talked about making all the girls something out of this for the beach.
Oh, that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Donna.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. That's a great idea.
That would be cute. We had a photo shoot with nightgowns and pajamas and everything, and they were able to bounce and jump on the bed, and they were like, "Are you sure this is okay?" They couldn't believe it, and it was probably one of the most fun. Although the kids said the most fun photo shoot they ever had was when we had the ice cream party at the end.
Yeah,
all those ice cream
fun.
sundaes, and they were just gobbling it all up. So that was the most fun for them. Yeah.
So, have you ever heard of a file fabric? It's got a crazy way you spell it.
Faille.
And we say file, and you might say fail, but we say file.
And then some people just call it ribbed. Like the company we just ordered it from said the ribbed cotton fabric, but I would call it a file.
So a file versus a piqué, because they both have straight weaving. A file runs from selvage to selvage, and a piqué runs parallel to the selvage.
That's right.
So all the piqué fabrics you've seen, this has the opposite construction.
And this has a little bit of lycra in it. So honestly, could make pants, you could make a skirt, you can make a shirt, a jacket,
jumper.
Yeah, jumper, anything.
I really want to see a little girl's long gall. I feel like would be so cute. Like even a bibbed long gall would be really cute out of this.
But I just wonder how practical those are. I know your kids wear the one piece, but does it drive them crazy when they have to go to the bathroom and take it all off? How hard is that?
I mean, I feel like rompers are popular right now.
I know.
Long galls. I mean, I think everything you put on, you're going to have to use the bathroom in it at some point. So.
I know, but you think, you only want to do that like if you're at home or someplace clean. Because like
what about men wearing overalls? I feel like that's another thing.
Well, they have other options.
not both options.
That's right.
We might need to poll some grown men over here.
They'd be really embarrassed if we ask them that question. I brought this Liberty out because Christy Newsom was photographing this. She was looking for something that's really, how Liberty has colors that are just a little bit different. This is perfect with this little wildflower looking.
It's like an orchid. This is like an orchid kind of mauve. And definitely that's such a beautiful compliment.
It's called Linen Garden. It's not linen, but it doesn't have kind of a linen look in the background. It's not a solid, but it's that oatmeal. Yeah. This is so pretty. And it's pretty with this orchidy ribbed file.
Let's see if you can see the weave of this fabric. Let's see. There we go. It's just going to look just like a piqué, but it goes the opposite direction.
That's right.
Woo. All right. So Sally is going to break down lace edgings, or maybe edgings in general. What direction are you going with this?
We're just being general to start with. Like last Friday we talked about beadings, and we kind of were like beadings in general. And so I'm just going to refresh that, because a beading is a type of lace. It could be Swiss embroidery or French lace that has holes manufactured in it that you thread ribbon through. And so I just showed different sizes and different things that you could thread through. And of course, my handy little bodkins that I love so much. But anyway, So I wanted to just introduce you to the names of the styles. The names of the styles.
So this week we're talking about edgings.
Yeah.
And you have pulled out a huge selection of, let's see, what do we have here? We have Swiss, we have French, we have,
I'm going to show
Swiss
it
Venice.
this way to start with.
We've learned that Swiss Venice and Cluny can be interchangeable. So
And Guipure.
Guipure, which we don't speak that way, but
Yeah, although a lot of times the Cluny is cotton, but an edging, you can see there's every one of these is different. Let's see here. I can show
I
it.
think we're showing that.
Okay. We're going to go on the overhead. Every one is different, but there's one thing that they all have in common, and that is they have a scallop on one side.
So this is for edgings in
For
particular.
edgings in particular, they have a scallop on one side. And I guess it might not be just a scallop, but it might be a design or a shape, or it could be squared off, and they can be in colors, and they can be different fiber content. So we have 100% cotton in Swiss. We have these are French laces. This is Moline. They are 90% cotton, 10% nylon for strength. Then we have a variety of heavier laces like Venice laces. These are actually, I didn't even know it before, but these are in the same family. These go together. This could go on the bottom of a dress. I'm going to show you here. This could go like on the bottom of a garment, and this could go on the sleeve or on the collar. These actually are the same design, but this has an additional inch or so up on the top of it. But I was looking at it. This has the same pattern. But every one of these is an edge, so it's either straight across the top, or the top of this lace would go in a seam, or it might connect with a beading. But anyway,
So this is an embroidered netting edging.
Yeah,
here.
embroidered netting edging. That's right. So and everyone is handled differently. They're different fiber content. Some of them, like the French lace, they have a little tiny thread in the very top that you can pull. That's called the header. And you can pull that thread and gather it. Other laces, like the wide Swiss laces. I know I'm going all over the place.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I'm following.
Okay, the wide Swiss edgings, you can see that it looks scalloped here. That's just because when it's manufactured, they take a wide piece of fabric, let's say 60 inches wide, and they embroider rows and rows and rows of the same edging, and then it trims. And so
this is a perfect match.
yeah,
to this.
it's a perfect match to that. So then they trim them apart. So that's why the top part of the Swiss is usually in a scallop.
Same here.
That's right, because that matches, doesn't
Mhm.
it? So
Here.
yeah. When you want to have a smocked collar, you use an edging, then you look for enough fabric that's not embroidered so that you can run that through your pleater. Some, and I didn't bring one in here, but some of the wider edgings have beautiful embroidery a lot farther up. There's room here, because we've used this in a kit. But there's room here to embroider to smock a few rows, and there's room on this one. This has crosses on it. So some of the edgings have specialty holidays, like Christmas. This with crosses might be for christening gowns or first communion. Some just have flowers, and these have little wreaths.
Some are beautiful. Some are totally geometric.
Yeah, some are totally geometric. That's right.
Like
That's
something
right.
like this.
Yeah.
Would be more of like a geometric design.
So these little edgings right here, with I can go this way for a little while. What?
Well, I
Tell
really
me what I
love.
need
I
to
mean,
do.
so yes, you are somewhat limited. Or you're really not limited. I mean, I've been seeing so many people where they take an edging and they actually put it in the seam here and flip it up on the bodice.
Yes.
I mean,
so
you
pretty
think
that way.
edging, you think collars, you think sleeves,
Yep.
sleeve embellishment, like a little a dainty ruffle or something at the bottom of your sleeve. but actually people put them into their seams, like maybe down a princess seam. You might have a little edging. But yes, I love it when people are turning it up on their bodice.
I do too. That would be beautiful. Even some of these, the little heavier like Venice laces turned up on the bodice. And if you wanted to, you could actually tack that down or do a little embroidery.
You could actually put it into the bottom of your skirt. So not at the very bottom where it's an edging and it's typical, I guess. You could come up here and do a growth tuck and put an edging in.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes people put it going down the front of a garment and put some kind of finishing trim down. So you have two edgings that match up, and you have it's more like a gloom style at that point.
Jeanette George says she spends most of her time on our site looking at all the laces and edgings.
You can get lost there.
There are a lot. And one thing I wanted to say, we talked about dye lots when we were talking about fabric. The same thing happens with laces. And so we carry some of the laces we've carried for years and years, really, maybe almost 30 years, right? And so we just always reorder. And the things that change on the colors in the ecru, some are darker, some are lighter, some have a little more yellowy cast. Some
started at 5/8 of an inch, and the next time it comes in, it's a tiny bit less than 5/8 of an inch.
Yes.
Or maybe it's a tiny bit greater than 5/8 of an inch.
It is.
When it comes to laces, I mean, look at this. How much variation could you have when you're cutting out this design?
Right.
There's always a variation of sizes when it comes to laces.
Yeah.
You're going to be in the general, like if we listed at 5/8 of an inch, it's going to be in that general world, but it does have some play as far as reordering from bolt to bolt.
And we've tried to put that on the website where it says
approximate.
Yeah.
Not because we can't use a ruler, but just because there's
that's right.
We have thousands of laces here.
Yeah.
And
and every time a new batch comes in to replenish, I don't remeasure and then go to the website and change it.
Well, I mean,
because
if this is supposed to be an inch and it comes in at 3 inches, we're going to notice that.
Oh, yeah.
But if it's an inch and now it's really more like
an inch and a 16th.
Yeah, like whatever.
Yeah.
Really tiny off. It's not
and
really noticed.
When it comes to colors, I don't know, probably a lot of you watched when Jane Seeley, our friend that does beautiful christening gowns and heirloom dresses, she brought several of her garments, and she puts together beautiful combinations of laces, not even laces in the same lace family, and not the same color ecru. They're all shades of ecru, and they are stunning.
I almost feel like it gives it more depth, and it makes you be able to appreciate each piece of the lace fancy band more because it has that little bit of variation of color. I mean, I like an all white lace fancy band, but there is something about when she creates the
ecrus,
ecrus.
Yeah. And she'll put maybe a heavier piece of insertion in, and then even use the Swiss and the French. So you can, there really isn't a wrong way to do it.
That would make me say, go to your stash, and you've been thinking that you can't use what you have on a garment.
Right.
Even moving from a sleeve to a dress hem, you could go from white to ivory and it not be terrible. There's just different ways to live within your stash to be able to create your gown.
And then send us pictures so we can see what you created from your stash.
Yeah, we'll learn from you.
Well, and you know what, Kristen, one thing that's been going on this week, I know there's been a lot going on this week. One thing that's been going on, because Emma just reminded us with the little cheat sheet note down there, we're having a sale every single day. We have some other quilting cottons on sale, right?
If you could retroactively go back this week, you would know that. But this sale actually lasts from today and through Sunday. There were 17 fabrics this morning available. Quilting cottons, 45 inches. We love them for garments. They were originally $14.50, marked down to $6.99. I'm not sure how many are left in that category, but we're going to link them through Facebook, and we'll share a link in our Instagram story as well. But they're flying out the door because they're really cute. We just need some room.
Yeah.
So we're making room by having a little quilting cotton sale.
I know I didn't hold these up when we were talking about the nightgown, but the nightgown is Victorian Dreams by Primrose Lane. And so we have the ladies sizes, the girl sizes and the lady sizes. And it's a robe and a nightgown. And it shows here that it's smocked, but obviously I didn't smock it. So it makes a real pretty nightgown, and simple and fast. And so anyway, this is a cute pattern. This is a cute pattern.
It is cute. I love a small short yoke. I think that's so pretty gathered to it. So as we dream in vintage patterns, and also with our summer photo shoot we have coming up, Sally whipped up a sheen sateen raglan style. Let's see here.
I've been hunting for a pattern, and so meanwhile I pulled out these other patterns that I'm like, oh, I want to make that. And so this has little pockets here. I made this in a size 4, thinking of Kristen's 4-year-old. And so I made it the sleeveless version. This is Butterick 4745, and it's a vintage pattern. And so we are kind of vintage everything. I'll tell you what was a kind of a beast was and I haven't totally finished this part yet, but it only has maybe a 3/8 of an inch as a seam for the shoulder seam. And so I'm putting bias on the inside, but ooh, it was a little bit on the tricky side there.
So with this raglan style, it got tight here at the neck. And so that's where Sally, she hasn't finished it yet, but she's...
I need to try it on her just to see, because the neck looked too small for me. And so what I did...
She made it worse than this.
I actually cut it down a little bit, and so that made my shoulder seam even more narrow. Like, oh, great.
So then she didn't think about all that stuff she has to wad up in that seam.
So it's kind of tight right there.
Uh-huh.
So I'm still figuring that one out. But anyway, I put an invisible zipper in this one, and look how cool that looks.
It's perfect.
I love that. Doesn't even have a little pucker down here.
So this
has a little stretch. It has a little stretch
like
this way, crosswise.
Okay.
Yeah. This little girl is really skinny, so she won't need any stretch, will she?
Man, but she loves red, y'all. She's gonna have a fit.
I know. Looks like firecracker. She's a little firecracker.
She is. I think every muscle in her body is gonna flex when she sees this dress.
I know it. I have to.
This would be talk about a mommy and me. This would be a beautiful ladies dress.
Yeah.
As well as
I love this.
Yeah.
This fabric was great to work with. It really was. I did follow the pattern like for the pockets, but except that I can show you on the overhead here. I'll turn it around this way. When I make pockets, and especially for kids, they really love pockets, and so they are. I might not be able to see it. I don't know. They ram their hands in, and so I try to really secure the edge, and so I actually sew. I start down here about an inch or 3/4 of an inch, and I make a little triangle. I start here. I sew into the pocket about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch.
Some made up distance.
Yeah, some made up distance, like 3 stitches.
Depending on how busy the print is, you can sew in more aggressively.
Yeah, like this one's a little smaller, but
Right.
you really can't tell. So that I make that triangle, and I do it all in one line. So I start here, come up, go across, and come down, and then go edge stitch, and then go straight up the edge over like 3 stitches, and then angle back down to here. And so then you don't have any threads pulling out at the top. The other thing you can do, you can satin stitch right there, but I think this is kind of a neat finish. And because it's just a single stitch, and you go across, and
it's just a better way to, or you like this method for securing the pocket?
I like it to secure the pocket. I do. And because kids are hard on their pockets, and you can see the tops of pockets
It is
coming.
the first thing that my children do when they have a dress with pockets.
That's right.
Yeah.
Learned something new today.
Well, the other interesting thing about this pattern is that when I was looking at it, I thought, well, let's see what else they talk about. And on the side seams, they have little dots on the side seam on the front and the back. And if you try and match them up, you realize the front was like 3/8 of an inch longer than the back. And so they suggest, and this worked for me, you run a little easing thread in the front part.
Just in that spot that has that extra
between the dots.
length.
And so it's like right here where the tummy is, and right on the side where their little tummy is. And so you ease that fabric up in the front part, you ease it in, and then you match
So it's a tailoring technique.
Yeah, it's a tailoring technique, and it gives you a little bit of ease without making a dart. And so you can pull that up just like you do on a sleeve. You run an easing thread in, but you don't make puckers. And it gives you a little bit of movement, a little bit of
like
room.
a crinkle.
Yeah, a little
You're
bit of room.
crinkling the fabric in there.
You are. And so I can press that out a little better if I need to. But that was kind of a neat little trick, because if I took the pattern and just put the underarm sleeve to the bottom, the front would have been a little bit longer. And you're like, why is this longer? Well, only because you need to ease it up right in here, and it gives a little room for their tummy.
So other ways that Sally has addressed this before. So if it was someone that had a larger stomach, she would have elongated this hemline. Like maybe even if this was straight across, she would have curved this bottom hem so that when you fill out your tummy, you still have a straight across line at the bottom of your dress. So instead of that being how it's addressed, this is actually addressed in the side seam.
Yeah, and so it's really doing the same thing. It's given there's a little more room in the front length, but you ease it up in the sides, and then it just gives you
a straight line finished.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun for me to use these vintage patterns and really see how they did what they did. And I use a lot of tailor tacks on this pattern because, and we talked about tailor tacks a few weeks ago, because of marking the pockets, and also on these little things up here, you didn't sew all the way to the end, and you're like, you got to mark this and mark that dot. You wouldn't think that would be a little complicated, but it was a little complicated.
Cool.
But it's cute, and I think it'll be cute when I get it all the way finished. So love that.
We are offering a twice a week giveaway. So maybe for y'all who are tuned in right now, you know that, but it is a lot of fun. All the goodies that Emma and Sally have been coming up with. We already have 2 fabrics for next Tuesday, and so you got to get your name in our box.
In fact, one of them, this will be interesting to you, because one is a Sea Island knit. And it's not a big piece, but I've been saving it for how many years have I saved it? A long time. And I've washed it.
It might have gotten lost a couple times in those years.
I'm going to use this for the babies. And saved it and washed it again. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to bring this down and we'll put it in our giveaway. So it's cute.
It makes us feel silly talking about the value of the giveaway every week, so we let it ride. But it's a monster giveaway that you can get your name in for every single week. So I would say if it's not 100, it's more than 100 every week. So
should we mention this
Let's
first?
draw,
Okay.
and then we'll mention it.
All right.
Is this
So that's it.
okay?
But here it is right here.
So who is our winner this week? Let's see.
So if you entered, you must like retro, because we have retro.
This is the Sewing Mimi. She said, so many wonderful items. Hope it's my lucky day.
I'm glad she thinks it's wonderful.
Yay.
What?
It's her lucky day.
Yeah, that's right. But we have some neat cross stitch books and lots of trims.
We don't. They're gone, y'all.
Yeah,
the Sewing
we
Mimi has them. They are her property.
That's right.
So we had a new arrival come in a couple weeks ago, and it created quite a ruckus here at Farmhouse because it was limited, and it still is limited. Currently, what's our stock on this?
4.
We have 4.
4.
And we're getting more in at the end of June, but this is it. This is what we have.
This is a velvet needle board, and it actually has hundreds and hundreds of little needles on here, little pins that stand up. And this is a wonderful, wonderful item. And so they make imitations, but not with the real needles. They're not imitations. So
we're happy to have back in stock
so
a real needle
Here's
needle
a piece
board
of silk velvet, and I will just show you when you take this to your ironing board and you lay your velvet down. And if you had a seam that you wanted to press open, or press anything, maybe press the back of this, you can press on here, and it doesn't make the other side shiny and press, push down.
Yes, it almost appears burnt or something when you just press.
Yeah, you can, if you do it with your iron on an ironing board, you can actually pick it up and you can see your iron
holes.
Yeah, your iron. So anyway, we have a special order coming, but it might be the end of June, they said. And so we let everybody know that had ordered one previously. and they all got theirs. And then we let everybody know that put their name on the I'm interested
There are
list.
4 in stock if you
We
want
have
them.
4 right now,
Yeah,
4.
you can get some more at the end of June. My favorite thing about this Gavin Gush is that we have a new dry erase board, which just personally makes me happy because I love making lists and I love writing on this list. My favorite thing is that our 2 brains can't remember everything, or at least they
I
don't.
love that you're doing that.
I love this board.
I know. Emma is
So,
secret
Emma's like,
messaging us.
don't forget to talk
You're right.
about this.
Y'all can't imagine how many times we're done with this, and we have like 15 items up here we haven't
I
mentioned.
know.
So
Oh, look at this cute little thing. Look at that.
It's
You
cute.
want to talk about how cute that is? Looks like you can iron your hair with it.
So I used to iron my hair in high school, actually. This is our handy dandy little palm iron. We do not carry these. This is from Amazon.
But
We've
somebody
heard-
raved about it on Facebook. You know, I do read Facebook, right?
What really looks like, talking about ironing your hair, this reminds me of the plates that are on your flat iron, and we've not used it. We're up here talking about it, and we've not used it.
But we're gonna have Ariel use
Yes,
it.
yeah. So, but highly recommended, and recommended from people that made us purchase it. So,
Yeah.
what do
It's
we
called,
have?
It's called Steam Fast. And it's just such a nifty little thing. I like to just use it. But look at using it on baby clothes or doll clothes. It's so cute. And it does steam. And it even has this. Look how cute this is.
I love that we've never used it.
I know. But, you know, we're going to put a link to it. But we got it from Amazon. So we'll show you.
It's cute,
We'll
and
show you how to do
it does feel really handy. So
Yeah. So I think this is darling.
I can't. We're losing that. Like in 1 hour, that will be gone. It just came out of the box.
Around my neck.
Okay, so our board is clear and we do not have any new notes up there. So we are looking forward to seeing y'all back here on Tuesday. Don't forget about our quilting cotton sale. If you're not signed up for our newsletter, sign up for our newsletter on the homepage of our website at farmhousefabrics.com. It's the latest and greatest and easiest way to keep up with it. We'll see y'all Tuesday.
Thank you.
Michelle's